right, hey, who wants to talk about tire monitor sensors in your car? Nobody. These are a system that's been in almost every car that's built since 2008. So chances are your car has this tire sensor system in it. They're not a system that you want to ignore. And at the same time, a lot of people do ignore them because they're tired of looking at the little blinking light on the dash and they'll just cover it up with tape. Or they're so used to looking at it that it's been there for years and they don't even know what that light is. I can't do this, Justin. I honestly can't do this. I'm so frustrated by the noise here. So many people are confused about these things. They don't know when to pay attention to them, when they're important. Is my air pressure important in my tires at all? Of course it is for tire wear, but also for safety. So the whole reason for having this system in your car is so that you're not driving down the road at 30, 40, 60 miles an hour with a low air in one of your tires. Maybe it's down to 15 pounds and that tire is getting hot. So while you're driving down the road doing 60, 65 miles an hour, your back tire is getting heated up. It's actually maybe hurting the tire, and that pressure and temperature inside the tire can heat up so much the tire explodes. You have a blowout, you slide all over the lane, and if you're lucky, you pull over and you fix your flat tire. But if you're not lucky, you hit the car next to you, or you do a 360, or flip your car upside down. It's all kinds of bad things that can happen. So these are very much a safety-related piece to your car. Shops don't like to ignore these, but at the same time, it's the customer's decision if they want to fix them. I can't force you to fix them. At the same time, we like to educate people on how that system works and why it's there. So the nice thing about it is, as a owner of your own car, you can take care of your own air pressure and monitor that just like you would with an old-fashioned tire gauge. And an air compressor, you can pump up your tires to the recommended pressure. Every car's got a sticker on the driver's door that tells you where that air pressure should be. And if it's within a parameter, these are happy and they're all working fine. Tires always run warm. On a cool day like this where it's raining, tires are pretty happy. But as soon as you start getting in the sunshine on hot pavement, that just magnifies all the heat inside of a tire and onto the tread surface and the sidewall and everything. Now, if you let the air pressure fall too low, like for example, this air pressure in this tire might be 35 pounds, which is fine. But if it gets down to 16 pounds or even 20 pounds, now that tire's running even hotter because the flex on the sidewall generates heat, and that just is starting to create a problem while you're driving down the road. We see a blown out tire once or twice a week here in our shop. Most of them just don't have a story attached to them that has a death or a rollover or a car wreck because of it. It's just an inconvenience. But it can also be really expensive because now you're having to replace a tire instead of, catching it early enough where you can actually just repair the tire and go on your day. These systems have been around since 2008, at least mandatory 2008 and newer in passenger cars. But the system itself has been around since even back in the 80s with Corvettes and, certain cars like that. So the industry for the last 20 years has been pretty confused about these things, to be honest, because they all showed up on the scene in the late 2000s, and the equipment that it takes to reprogram these, the training that it's taken to get technicians to understand how they work on every different car, and every one of these sensors is not the same between Chevrolet, Ford, Hyundai, Nissan. Everybody's got their own little take on it. Over the years, they've become a little bit more standardized. But it's a confusing and expensive part of your car that you need to understand. Every day we use this tool, and it's got all the cars programmed into it. So we can go back and scan and monitor each one of these batteries to see if it's got any life left in it and that it's going to program properly with the car. So we use this tool. It's very expensive. It always has to be updated and programmed all the time. This is just your typical air what are these called again? This is just a pressure gauge that's been around for a long time. This is what you need to have to check your air pressure in your tires. These sensors tend to last about 10 years. There's a little battery in there. So if your car is less than 10 years old, that system should work properly. And if it's not working properly, it might just need to come to a good tire shop like us and get it reprogrammed and updated. Or if your light keeps coming back on, and you keep wondering why it keeps coming back on every 3 weeks, it might be because you just have a slow leak in your tire and people just keep topping off their tires, but not really understanding which sensor is causing the problem, which tire's got the slow leak in it, those kind of things. So we can help you with that. All right. Well, hopefully this information is useful to you. If it is, like and subscribe to our channel. And we look forward to comments. If you have any questions or comments or just want to stop by and say hi, maybe even pick up one of these awesome sweatshirts, we'll help you out with that. Thank you.